Here is a Duracraft branded oscillating pedestal fan, 16-inch model. The information's tag is residing underneath the stand in borderline unreadable font. Let's take a look at that. This is the Duracraft model DS-1690 VN. It's rated for 0.52 amps. Duracraft Corporation. There's one of these date things here. I'm not quite sure how to decode the number on here. It begins with, it says 960, and I can't really read what the rest of the numbers are. I think 1996 would be a fairly reasonable year for this thing, but as we've seen many times with date codes, you can't just assume that two digits that would make sense to be the year are actually the year. As with most Duracraft products, this is a little bit of an odd looking fan. This is the base. For some reason it was chosen to be like a kind of triangular shape. It's got some weights in here which are just rusted pieces of metal, or pieces of metal screwed together with totally rusted out screws. This thing looks like it's sat in water. It's kind of bizarre. But it's made of that really like brittle plastic. So I'm not sure how long this is going to hold on, but it's in good condition for now. This, I believe, can take 2 poles. I only have one of the poles. This is a very unusual model. I have never seen one of these until this one surfaced. And this was found by the letter H. So on the back here we have a lever, which I believe its function is to change the sweep of the oscillation. So this would be more narrow, and then that would be more wide. Exactly how that works, I have no idea at the moment. That's something we have to take it apart to try to learn how that works. As far as the unit itself goes, it's just a generally kind of weird looking product. Not a typical run-of-the-mill pedestal fan design. We have one of the child-proof controls here, which were fairly common on these Duracraft fans during the era. And it's got a little indicator line, except I don't know what it's pointing to because there's no labeling. You have to push this and turn it. It actually works pretty easily. You don't even have to hold the fan from the back. Just would have been nice if it was labeled. The blade is, I don't know, some kind of a teal color, I guess, as is the label. And the blade kind of has some resemblance of, oh, come on. It kind of looks like an SMC blade to me. I know it's not, but it's kind of the same shape as the 16-inch models. I'll get this back on the floor. Filming these pedestal fans on the table here, just it doesn't end up looking good in the video. We have a plastic carry handle which is attached to the front of the motor housing here. We have the oscillation rectangle. And I don't know what type of clips would have held this together originally. That letter put tie wraps around there in place of whatever was there. I imagine it was probably broken or just did not work well at all. Alright, let's go ahead and plug this thing in and we'll see how it works. Here's the plug. The non-polarized, I mean it is polarized but it's non-fused. It probably is a 90s product. Alright, we are currently testing with 100, I'm going to make this easier because I barely reach this meter. I'll plug the meter into this power bar here. This is spring loaded and it's a little bit too much. You gotta be kind of particular with that. Alright, 119.1 the volts. And we'll start off with, well, quite frankly, I don't know if it's low or high because it's not labeled. We'll go all the way to the right. Probably low. It's a nice quiet low, and it's moving a good amount of air. There seem to be a lot of mixed opinions about these mesh style guards. I kind of like them because they do seem to be very aerodynamic in terms of noise and airflow. But the counter argument that they're very flimsy is definitely true. Although this one is one of the betters. Like there's a one of those windmere fans I have. The whole guard just flops around like it's nothing. But this is actually, I'm surprised by how sturdy this is. This is much better than usual. That's 0.34 to amps, 38.9 to watts, and 0.93 to power factor. So it's going to be a PSC motor. And I can feel it pushing the air all the way across the room. It's not super forceful, but the air is traveling pretty well. Alright, let's go to medium. A decent increase in speed. That's now 0.39 amps, 45.9 watts, and 0.96 the power factor. Wow, it's in almost perfect balance. That's kind of unusual. Although that's the way that it should be. Well, got decent airflow over here. It's not the most powerful 16-inch pedestal by any means. It seems like the airflow is not very concentrated. I can feel plenty of air moving around, but it's just like kind of all over the place. And it's not super strong in any particular location. I'm also noticing from this vantage point back here that the guard is totally not centered on the fan. It's got to be about 2 inches of space on the bottom, and then it's like about to hit on the top. That's kind of weird. I wonder how it got like that. It might just be bent, I don't know. Well, as long as it's not hitting nothing, I think I'm going to leave it alone. There's the high. It does have a decent range of speeds. high, that's 0.46 amps, 55.1 watts, with a power factor of 1, the power factor, which is very rare to get it to an actual 1 out. Usually 99 is the best that we typically see. So that means that the capacitor and the motor is perfectly paired. If it is perfectly paired, it would be power factor of 1. So this was built pretty well. It moves good air, but the way it moves the air is very strange. I suppose that could also be a function of how the room is. This is not a very large room, it's kind of cluttered. In a more open area, it would likely perform differently. Alright, now let's see how that oscillation works. It is on the more narrow one right now. Go ahead and gauge that. Some stuff I don't want to blow off the table, so I'm going to move this a little bit. Okay, so that's the narrow one. Let's move to the wider path. Spring load thing. Oh gosh. It seems like it's going a lot faster. It's hard to tell if it did get wider. Did it get wider by much? It seems to me like it just got fat. It seems to me like it just got faster. No, it did get wider. It definitely got wider. Okay. I wish it didn't get so much faster though. I wonder how that works. I imagine it just it's got to just change maybe the position where the lever mounts or something, the oscillation arm, because it can't be making a. I can't imagine it's anything really complex. Well, it looks like this has been cleaned and serviced pretty well, so I suspect that that letter cleaned and serviced is when we got it. So maybe we could provide some insight in the comments box as to how that apparatus works. At some point we're going to have to try to adjust the tension on the tilt mechanism because that's ridiculous the way it is right now. Bearings seem to be in very good condition, which is no surprise considering how balanced the blade is.